Praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahawashi, Ba'ashem Kodash, the blessings to the elders and apostles of Great Stone. Shalom to the elect pushing its word in truth and in sincerity, with the hope of receiving mercy of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahawashi. Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Father. Yahawashi is the name of His only begotten Son. You so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the Israelites according to the prophecies that are written in the Scriptures. So with that being said, I want to make it known that the RFID microchip is a charagma written about in Revelation 13 verse 16 and down. And just by me have to call the word charagma so that those that are in know can comprehend, and those that are not those that are not even in the know can even go look up Revelation 13 verse 16 and look up certain words in there, for them can get the understanding of what I'm speaking on, because just by making mention of certain phrases like the mark of the beast, you see me, and align it with a type of device in which we call the RFID microchip, just by doing these things is a strong possibility that this video will get pulled, and that's the times that we're in, But I'm here to declare the name of He that's going to deliver us from these times, which is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahawashi. So just want to dive straight into it with hope that this is edifying, This is 2 Corinthians 4 verse 3. But if our gospel, and the gospel represent the good news, you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans hearing the truth of who you are, fulfilling what is written in Isaiah. As it is written in Jeremiah 58, so we're supposed to cry aloud, spare not, lift up our voice like a trumpet, and show the Lord's people their transgression, and the house of Jacob their sins. And we are in such a time in which the Lord have raised up pastors according to His heart, to feed us with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and put these pastors before our eyes, whether you see them physically or you see them on YouTube, You see? When I say physical, I mean them there in front of you, literally, You see me, and you see me respond to question and thing. Might be upon them channel and you put up your comments on, So that's mercy the Lord will show you by putting this knowledge within the minds of men upon the earth, so that you may receive it, Because we are in such a time in which the earth is covered with the manipulation of Esau, Edom, From on the entertainment, to the food on eat, everything that the old way you were cultivated, brought up, it was part of the whole deception, And now we are in a time in which the Lord has removed that veil from off our eyes, so we may see clearly, And He might tell us who is our enemy, and what we're supposed to do in these times, So the scripture says, but if our gospel be hid, which is the good news, letting you Israelites know who you are, who is your God, who is your power, it is hid to them that are lost. Who is lost but Israel, Isaiah, Matafa. Let me get in and come back to that precept, because Isaiah 1 declared it beautifully, This is Isaiah 1. I'm going to say straight to verse 2. Hear, O heaven, and give ear, O earth, for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahawashi hath spoken. I have nourished and brought up children, and they have rebelled against me. The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel doeth not know, my people doeth not consider. And that's you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, You don't consider. You don't even know why you're in such a predicament, why your life is so challenging than all these other Edens around the world, But we are into the time in which the Lord I declare these things unto us, as it is written in Proverbs, I want to say 1 verse 23 to 24, when I'm saying I'm going to pour out His Spirit upon you. I'm going to make known His words unto you, And all the Lord do that by His servants, the prophets, because you are the lost sheep, and you're lost because you have transgressed the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Therefore, the Edens are ruling over you. And one of the things that the Edens have done, as it is written in the curses, so them are going to put a yoke of iron upon your neck until they have destroyed it, yo. Now when you come out of that way, you're going to forget even your inheritance, yo, fulfilling what's written in Jeremiah 17 verse 4, yo. Thou shalt discontinue from your what? Your inheritance, yo. Your heritage. Knowing who you are. You see me? Because that's a wicked device Esau used on our people, yo. To beat the knowledge of who we are out of us, yo. Through generation and generation and generation, yo. Till we are in this dumb down state right now. Believing that we are African, African American, Jamaicans, Trinidadians, Haitian. And the list goes on, yo. So, back to the precept in 2 Corinthians. So this is 2 Corinthians, I want to say 4, verse 4 now. In whom the God of this world had blinded the minds of them which believed not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Mashiach, who is the image of God, should shine unto them. So, they have been blinded, and let's see some of the things that they have been blinded with, yo, and by. So let's go into this video. Alright, this is Yugo Talks. You know, if you know anything about Yugo Talks, these are the type of information I'm going to bring out, yo. You see me? So let's go in.
Hello, you're listening to Hugo Talks. So I wanted to talk about this new Channel 4 show and what I call media conditioning or fake stream media conditioning, which is something we are seeing everywhere. Even yesterday in Australia, I was talking about their so-called electricity crisis. They are talking about possible blackouts if too much energy is used and how they want people to stop using their lecky from 5:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. in New South Wales, and how this is conditioning people in how they want them to act in the future, which is bringing in social credit scores digitally attached to your finances and measuring your energy usage in a cashless society with programmable money, and you becoming a digital slave to the system in a digital prison. That's the idea, and they are slowly walking people into this, and much of this is being done with smoke and mirrors and fake stream media conditioning. You know, when you hear that some newspaper has managed, just somehow managed to get their hands on a leaked document from the government. Oh wow, and they have this exclusive story, when really it's all about priming the masses. This is all crap. This is the government and the fake stream media.
What the scripture say? Blinded the minds of them which believe not, yo. So it's not out of your eye, them literally are going blind, yo. It's the mind. You see me? The way you process these informations where you receive, yo. Esau going to manipulate you. You see me? That's why the scripture say. The scripture say about the elect, if it was possible, them would have deceived the very elect, yo. That's how cunning and manipulating Esau is, yo. But let's continue.
You're working together to put the info out early to prime the public, and then use their analytics online to survey, engage, measure public reaction. This is why you shouldn't engage with surveys. Tell them nothing. Give them nothing. You'll notice a lot of COs will put surveys up on their social media page. Do not engage with that. Keep them in the dark. But anyway, they also use entertainment to sow seeds of fear, to plant anxieties into the public's subconscious. That wasn't really there in the first place. Planting a seed to grow for later. Some people might call this predictive programming, and I can go along with that, but then it has to happen at some point for that to come true, and usually that's linked to, you know, dates and places that are featured in certain films or whatever. Well, in this new Channel 4 show called The Undeclared Attack, the notion of a cyber security attack shutting down the internet and switching off the grid. This has already been talked about for a while, here and there.
And that's facts, because of late you hear them making mention of a blackout, yo. You see me, them a tell you what them a gonna do before them even do it. But what? Them a make sure say them build a boogeyman first, yo. Somebody one can look to and fear say them a cause this, yo.
In the news, nothing major though. Now with the advert for this show, this is really trying to cement that notion, that possibility, that fear of that possibility into the minds of the masses, into the minds of the public. That they could lose the internet, lose their electricity due to an unseen, invisible enemy cyber attack.
Alright, there is the punchline. They can lose their internet, and one of the main reasons why, you see me, them are telling them about not losing the internet, yo, is the information being brought out on these platforms by alternative news outlets, yo. You see me? Mainly the prophets. You see me? Because we are declaring the truth, yo. We are telling you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans of the perilous times to come. And who are bring this peril, yo, which is Yahweh Shemi Shai, and him have vessels upon the earth to carry out his will, yo. And the thing is, them supposed to control the narrative. You have too much information about where them cannot regulate, yo. So them are bringing that regulating measures, yo.
Let's have a look at it and you'll see what I mean.
Good evening. I'm speaking to you from GCHQ, the government's communications headquarters. This is because what I have to tell you is of extreme importance. Our nation is under threat of imminent cyber attack. We have reason to believe this attack by an as yet unidentified foreign power will be far more damaging and wide-ranging than anything we have seen before. We must all immediately prepare ourselves for the impact of this invisible strike.
Yeah, it sounds kind of familiar to me. Now, where have I heard this before?
We all know, but still pay insufficient attention to the frightening scenario of a comprehensive cyber attack, which would bring to a complete halt to the power supply, transportation.
And when you hear them speak like that, the reset's supposed to come to mind, yo, because that's the plan of the elite, yo.
Hospital services, our society as a whole. The COVID-19 crisis would be seen in this respect as a small disturbance in comparison to a major cyber attack.
Ah, yes, there he is, Uncle Claus, everyone's favourite uncle, sitting on his unelected perch at the World Economic Forum and telling everyone all asunder about the cyber attack that would cause devastation. He says this, but at the same time, he wants to create a digital prison for everyone, attached to their smartphones in smart cities, being tracked and traced, all fine.
The thing is, attached to their phone, yo. No, it's gonna be attached to your body, yo, in the form of a RFID microchip, or in the form of a brain chip, yo. You see me? And that's what's coming. You have Elon Musk come out and tell you about Neuralink or Neuralace. You see me? You have another company come out now with the same technology, yo, showing a form of competition, yo. So you can choose one or the other. Them always give you that, yo. You see me? Making you believe that you have a choice in which when you're being manipulated and led, as it is written in 2 Ezra 15 verse 10, say, "Behold, my people are led as a flock to the slaughter, yo." And you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans are being led right now, not knowing your head for your foot, yo. You're just walking on, seeking the riches of this world, yo. You see me? While you go more and more in darkness, yo. Not knowing say all things you want to desire now are going to vanish away. And it's not far off, yo. So hope this was defined. With that I want to say Kalalal, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Kodash, Shalom. Last will me do a follow up on this.